Hello, everyone. Good morning from my end. And once again, welcome to One Global Movement. I'm happy it's Friday and we made it throughout the week. And then we're going to enjoy our weekend. And then we start again on a clean slate. If you can see me, as usual, I am cramped up in my car because I have a One Global Movement appointment, which I must attend. That is why you see me cramped up in the car. But what is so exciting is that Ambassador Pavni Verma is right here with us today. You know, Friday is her day, unless when she has to take care of certain important things in her life, which we encourage everyone to do the same. So thank you guys so much for being here and supporting children until the end of the week. And we're going to go without our music so that I can get back to the appointment so that we can get done and then we can go and start preparing to enjoy the weekend with our families. And so we are in O-CADEMY Revolution Part 236. Children, a Heritage. Episode number 9. Children, a Heritage from the Lord. Episode number 9. What is the theme? Detaching self-worth from external validation. Detaching self-worth from external validation. What do you think? What does that mean to you? Detaching self-worth from external validation. What does it mean to you? So begin to write in the chat what it means to you, because here is a discussion forum. It is not one size fits all. We want to make sure that we do the thing that all the children, all the young adults, everyone will fit into this according to their own goals and dreams and according to their purpose in life. But let us always keep in mind and ask ourselves the question, maybe every day, if you're like me, why am I alive today? Why did God choose to keep me alive today? And it's always for a good reason. And you find that reason and you begin to act on it. And you have to know who you are, whose you are, who created you. When you know these things, you answer these questions, and it's an ongoing thing, not just for today. You will go around your activities with happiness. Even though you might go through challenges, you will know how to navigate those things and still be you, who God has created you to be. Having said that, let us start with our quotes here. Your worth, your worth is not measured by the applause, but by the quiet power within you. Your worth is not measured by the applause, but by the quiet powers within you. Stand firm in the truth that you are enough. No matter who is watching, you are enough. Number 2, external praise may fade. Remember that. External things from outside you might fade away. But self-love is eternal. That means it is lasting. Let your validation come from within you, where no one can take it away. And lastly, validation is fleeting. Fleeting means it is something that comes and goes. Validation is fleeting, but the value you give yourself is lasting. Embrace the truth that your worth is intrinsic, your worth is natural, your worth is authentic, unshakable by external tides or forces. That is very, very important. So, what does detaching your self-worth from external validation means? What does it really mean? We're going to usher in Ambassador Pavni Verma to do her thing the way she does it. And we so love the way she does things here because she does it from her own authentic self and from her own natural experiences, which is teaching us that we ought to do the same if we are not yet doing that. And remember, it is a daily thing and it depends on the circumstances and the situations and the context. It is a daily thing. When you grasp this concept, nobody can take it away from you, and you'll go around your activities, your daily life, really knowing that you are such an important part of this universe, that you were sent here for a reason, And so you'll be so happy with yourself. Instead of looking for people to validate you, you are going to validate yourself. You're going to be your own cheerleader. You're going to clap for yourself, and you're going to move on with that determination to be happy and to win. So, Miss Pavni, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. This is
Hello.
Pavni Verma back again. And I've been waiting for this since last Friday, but in India, very festive season is going on. So we were busy enjoying that, but now I'm back, and all my gratitude to this beautiful lady out here, to this amazing platform, and to Ash Mufaris, sir, the amazing creator of
Yes.
this this world in itself, which is known as On Passive.
Yes.
And we are very lucky, we are very blessed. Also, we all are chosen to be a part of this platform, because not everybody gets to be a part of it. And we are directly or indirectly doing God's work here, which is such a privilege, which is such a form of a divine duty, you could say.
Yes.
And I feel all the authors, all the speakers, and all the listeners as well are equally important for the contribution and for the growth of this platform, of On Passive, and the growth of all of us as an individual as well.
Yes.
So, back to the topic, detaching self worth from external validation. Oh my God, this is so important. And I really want to say that I realized it a few months ago what my true self worth is. Although, like everybody else, I used to talk about self love, I used to talk about self care, self respect, and everything else. But I did not really, I feel that I did not really know the meaning of the terms that I've been using since ages. But when I actually experienced the true meaning of self worth, I won't say when I understood, or when I, belief is not the right word, but when I understood and when I experienced, again coming back to the same thing, experienced the meaning of self-worth, my life has changed ever since. And I want to share my own journey with you all, which has been full of ups and downs, which has been a roller coaster ride, which has been full of darkness as well as light, which makes the journey beautiful altogether. Because if we do not experience darkness in life, we won't really be able to appreciate what light looks like,
Yep.
right? So, what I understood, I'm going to cover this topic in a few points. So, the first one, as Dr. Yvonne was talking about, that our self-worth is something internal, it can never be external. So we are going to begin with that, right? So,
Mhm.
as I am a very spiritual person, the first point here talks about how our worth is, intrinsic or internal and eternal. Because, see, I and people like me are going to talk about it till the day we die. But it is very important to understand what we are exactly meaning when we talk about it. So, there is a quote, I want to start this session with that. And it changed me and my life and the way I look at things. And that quote is, we are not human beings having spiritual experiences. Rather, we are spiritual beings having human experiences.
Yes.
This is such a beautiful way to look at things. And when I use the term spiritual, it has nothing to do with this body, my gender, my color, my name, my profession, but everything other than this. If you know yourself, regardless of who you are, what your weight is, what your age is, what your gender is, what you do, how much you make, who is your partner, who is your family, anything. If your worth is not related to or attached to these things, then you can
Mhm.
consider yourself a spiritual person, because then you know who you actually are. So you are a spiritual being having human experiences, as I mentioned earlier. So your true value, if it doesn't come from how you look, how your hands look, how good your legs look, how good your thighs look, how many abs you have. If your worth is not determined by these things which you consider as yours, that this is mine, then it is definitely derived by something that is not changing. There is only one truth in this entire universe, and
Mhm.
that truth is you.
Yes.
Why? Because you are the only ever changing thing that has ever happened in this planet. Now you would say, this doesn't make sense. Like, I am always changing, my hair length is changing, my weight is changing, my age is changing. Then how am I not changing? So this I want to tell you through one thing, that we think that we are this body, but we are actually the witness who is experiencing this body, who is experiencing this world. So a witness cannot be something that is ever changing, because you are the one watching everything around you. So your worth is actually determined by who you are, and that is the witness, the truth, the never changing, the eternal. Even if this body dies, you are always going to be here, because you were here ever since the creation has started, right? So
Mhm.
if you are that which cannot be destroyed, if you are that energy which cannot be created, which cannot be destroyed, you can just be transferred from one body to the another. We are here to play a part, we are here on a journey, and our worth cannot be defined by our journey, right? Let's say you are traveling to a place, you're going for a picnic, you are going for an event. So your journey from the place, from your starting and to till your destination, you do not really judge yourself based on your journey, that how your journey has been. Although whatever I'm speaking here, we live the opposite of it. And we all judge our lives based on the journey, that, oh, I missed out on this, oh, I missed out on this opportunity, oh, I didn't get that, oh, I didn't do that, oh, I wish I did that, full of regrets and full of guilt, right? But actually our journey is something which has already been planned for us, and we are here just to experience it. So basically, we are spiritual beings, we are the only truth that ever existed, and we are here to experience whatever is happening with us, to us, without getting attached to the experiences that we are having. That being said, it is very easy for me to say it, but when I was doing it, it was the opposite. It was the hardest thing ever, because I have been, let's say I'm 26-year old, but the conditioning of thinking of myself like this body, and trying to look out for all the flaws and all the weaknesses that I have, because I used to keep on comparing myself with the people around me, with the people on the internet who look perfect, who live perfect lives. I too used to live a life like that. But when I realized that it's not that I'm having these beliefs, or I'm having this perspective since only 26 years. I don't know since how many years have passed by, how many bodies that the soul has changed with the similar belief. And it took me so many years, so many births, so many deaths to understand the truth, the only truth, which is who am I. And when I understood that I am not my weaknesses, I am not my strengths either. I am something beyond that. So this hit my mind that, oh, I thought this was the only thing that existed, that if everybody has strengths and weaknesses, and we have to make our strengths our superpowers, we need to convert our strengths into our passions, and we need to that is the only unique thing that we have, and then we make money out of it, we live the best life ever because we are doing what we love, and that's it. But when I realized that life is beyond that, my friend, because we are not here to to be born, to do what we love, to make money, to create an impact and then die. There is something beyond this as well.
Mhm.
If you do all this, which is the right way of living life, but if you do not really know who you are, then my friend, you are missing out on a major part of life, a major thing. Imagine if I have spent 26 years of my life with a very different belief of who am I. Imagine that foundation, which was not that strong, which was not that clear. I did not even know about myself. I was just attached with the identities that I have and the identities that I maintain. Imagine you cannot live a life which has started through beliefs which are not really true. Because one fine day, there are going to be situations, there are going to be circumstances where nothing is going to make sense, and your every belief is going to be questioned. What was I believing so far? These beliefs have not helped me become really who I ever wanted to be, or the kind of life that I wanted to live. So this is something that I understood. I'm taking a bit more time to talk about self-worth, because if you do not understand this term, there's no point of jumping into the confusion of what is external validation and what is not. So let's understand what actually self-worth is. Now, coming to the detachment from the external validation part. Now let's see what validations are. Validations are somebody saying yes to whatever you do, somebody agreeing to whatever you say or do, and we like it. All of us like it. But imagine if you are dependent upon the validations, what are going to be the consequences? Because we never think like this. We are so addicted to the momentary pleasure of
Mm-hmm.
being appreciated, of being loved, of being respected, of being taken care of, which is not a bad thing, by the way. But the problem starts when we unintentionally, unknowingly, subconsciously get attached to these validations.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
the kind of the person that we must aspire to be is that when somebody is appreciating me, I should not get swayed away with the appreciation. And when someone is criticizing me, I do not get pulled down with that criticism. If I am neutral in both the cases while appreciating both the things, that is when we are able to have a calm and stable mind to take, to understand what our intuitions are trying to tell us, to be present in the moment, and to take the best decisions for our own selves. Now, coming back to validations, let's say I and Dr. Yvonne, we both are having a conversation, and like every time she appreciates me with all her heart, she loves me with all her heart. But let's say, like we all have bad days. Let's say one Friday we had the best session ever, but and she also appreciated me, right? Like she always does. But if let's say I am expecting Dr. Yvonne to appreciate me more, but that is my expectation, that is not her fault, she did her part. But if I expect that from her, then it is my own expectations which is trying to bring me down, which is trying to lower my energy, which is trying to which basically hurts me. Now, everybody, every day, every time cannot have a positive state of mind. It is not possible.
Yep.
So, if you expect, even from your closed ones, your family, your friends, your colleagues, your partner, to be there for you, to appreciate you every single time, it's not possible.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest thing that is going wrong in our society is that we get into a relationship, or we tend to build a connection because we want that validation every single time. And when that does not happen, we pinpoint the other person that you are not good enough. You did not do that for me. You did not. You. So what happens? We become seekers like this.
Mm-hmm.
This is how beggars sit in the street, right? We are always wanting, give me this, give me that, give me love, give me care, give me attention. Now, what happens when we expect this from others and when we don't get it? That's where we lose ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
because that attachment then brings all the negative emotions, all the negative feelings, all the overthinking, all the insecurities, all the self doubts, all the underconfidence in your life. This is the gate through which all these emotions enter. That is attachment. So when you are constantly trying to seek your worth through the eyes of others, even it's your parents, if you have put somebody in the pedestal of your life and you are not there in that pedestal, anybody else is going to hurt you either today, tomorrow, or day after tomorrow.
Yeah.
Not knowingly, maybe, but unknowingly, because nobody is perfect. But we, because we are seeking validation continuously, we expect situations and people to be perfect all the time. So this is where things go wrong. And validations can never be permanent for life. Even your parents who appreciated you for something today, because they had certain expectations from you, you fulfilled that, they appreciated you. But tomorrow, maybe you are not able to fulfill those expectations. So they will not appreciate you. I'm here to speak the truth. I'm sorry. It's going
Yeah.
to hurt you. But
Yes.
this is the reality. We need to face it. We need to understand it. So this happens with all of us. And it's not an easy thing to deal with. So we need to understand that external validations like praise, like success. Success is what? Validation. Let's you decided to make $1,000 in a month and you made it, then you got validated by the world. Worldly success. You got that validation that, oh my God, she set a target, she hit that. Wow, amazing. But it's not necessary that you are going to hit that target every single time.
Yeah.
You are going to fail in life, you are going to make mistakes, you are going to be new at something. And let's say if you are getting, if that is your source of motivation, that is how you determine your worth. And if that does not happen, then today you are worthy and tomorrow you are not. So we need to really understand that, is our worth really related to the external things that are ever changing? Because in that way, you are worthy today and unworthy tomorrow. How are you going to have a stable mind in your life? How are you going to have a peaceful mind in your life? Because in my definition, a peaceful mind is the biggest definition of success ever.
Mm-hmm.
Because a peaceful mind is never dependent or attached to anything, right? So external validations like praise, success, or even societal recognition are fleeting, as you mentioned, are fleeting and change based on the circumstances. Our circumstances are ever changing. Imagine the money that we make, it is regulated and controlled by the government. And if you attach your worth related to something that is regulated by the government, which means you are giving all the power to the government to decide who you are and who you're not. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Yes.
No. Because a value of a coin or a note is ever changing. Inflation, deflation, there are 50 things that are, impacting each other. We do not really need to understand that cycle because it is beyond our control. But something which is under our control is to understand that what kind of beliefs are we attached to and what kind of beliefs are we taking forward in our life, and is it going in the right direction or not? Because whatever your emotions are, whatever your feelings are the biggest indicators if you are in the right path or not. So if your emotions are not very healthy, that means the path that you have chosen, the thought process that you have, the things that you believe in need to be taken into consideration. It needs your attention, that something needs to be corrected on the foundational level, not just on the upper level, on
Yes.
the surface level, which we all try to do. So if something is not going on in our life, we do everything possible to change the outer circumstances, to control situation, to control people, to manipulate situations as well, right? To lie, to cheat. A lot of people are doing that. I'm not saying that you do that, but a lot of people around us are doing that. So
Yes.
it's not always what you are doing, but it's also very important to do how this world is functioning and how are we going to not survive but live in this world where we live in,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's very important. So it's I have written a point. It's written that your spiritual worth remains constant and cannot be diminished or enhanced by these temporary factors, right? We usually feel that, okay, somebody said something to me, oh, I was not able to achieve that. We pull ourselves down. But at the same time, if we are getting too much swayed away with all the appreciation and worldly success, it's again not good for you because you're getting attached to that, and it is not here to stay forever. If you have it today and tomorrow it's gone, because nothing is yours, you're here to experience.
Mm-hmm.
You do not own anything in this world. We are just guests. We are not here to live forever. Not
Yes.
you, not me, not anybody else in this world. Nobody is here to live forever. So we are just here to experience. Why are we getting attached to everything? Why are we trying to own everything? Why are we trying to fight for things? When you can be in love with everything that is around you and experience it to the fullest. This is another way of looking at things. This is another way of looking at life, which is very beautiful. Right? Now, second point is to realize that your inner divine. So we all are part of the divine. Okay? Each one of us carries a spark of the divine, and recognizing that the divinity within can help shift the focus from seeking external approval to embracing the true self. And how you do that? By taking the focus that is in the outer world, how I look, how others look, how should I look, how should they look, how should things look. If you take your focus from the 50 things around you to one thing that's within you, that's when you start to see your inner world. Imagine, people are born, people play their part, people die, but they are never able to know themselves. This is such a sad part of the story. Even after being a hero to thousands of people, they don't really know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine. So I want everyone who is connected to me directly or indirectly to experience this feeling of understanding and knowing who you truly are, of
Yes.
taking out time to sit with yourself, to sit with your feeling, to sit with your emotions, which is not in a very healthy state, acceptable, but it can only get healthy when it is given proper attention.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to sit with yourself, you need to live from your core. You need, when you live from the awareness of your soul, who you truly are, the external factors lose the grip of your emotions. So whatever negative emotions that we experience, it is all stemming from one thing, that is attachment.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a difference between love and attachment in that case. When you love something, you do not want to own that.
That's right.
But when you are attached to something, you want to control that. You want that to be as per you. And when you start doing that, either it's a situation or it's a person, when you're attached to it and we try to control it, we create a sin unknowingly, and that is we try to snatch away the authenticity of that person, who that person actually is, what that situation actually is, and what it is trying to tell you. So when we are not attached to ourselves, we are automatically attached to the outer world. And when we are detached from the outer world, we are automatically attached to our own selves. So there is a saying that you can only get closer to God when you get closer to yourself, and you can only get closer to yourself when you get closer to God.
There you go.
So these two things are beautifully, beautifully connected. And once you realize this, once you experience this, there is going to be a point when you are going to understand that there is not much difference between you and God. When you realize that you are a creation of that own thing, that God, that universe, that whatever you believe in,
Mm-hmm.
you are not separate from that. You are that, and that is you, right? Now, third most important thing, and which all of us face, is the issues that is created by our egos. Now,
Mm.
what is ego? Ego is something, ego can only be explained through one word or one letter, that is I.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever there is an I, me, myself, that is an ego. Now, a lot of us think, even I used to believe that ego is having an image of myself where I am thinking very, high of myself. But even if you have inferiority complex, even if you think of yourself as someone who is very unworthy, that too is an ego.
Yep.
Ego is not positive or negative. It is just an image that we have created in our own minds. And we try to create an image, we try to maintain that image all our lives, which do not really exist. Oh my god. Imagine, let's say I had a trauma, I had a coping mechanism to be perfect in my life. I was a perfectionist. So perfection does not exist. In a similar way, ego is also something that is not real, but we try to make it real because it makes us feel safe, it makes us feel high of ourselves. So let's try to understand that in a minute. So ego, actually, when you realize who you truly are, the need for validation ends there.
Mm-hmm.
Ends there. You do not want to be validated, you do not want someone to appreciate you, you don't go behind that, you don't do things to get appreciated, which all of us do in life, right? So the need of validation comes from your ego. Your ego needs validation. We say na that if I start to support this person, his or her ego will boost. So when we support which is not true, that gets, when it gets validated, it starts to boost more, right? So the ego thrives on external validation. Imagine, our egos thrive on external validation, like achievements, attention, status. But the ego's hunger for validation can never be truly satisfied. So this is the rule of the game. Imagine you have entered a game and now you understand the rules, that oh, the game that I'm playing, and I'm expecting that, these things, achievements, status, attention, these are going to keep me happy all my life. But newsflash, this is not going to stay forever. And because you are never going to be satisfied, no matter how much you do, how much you get, how much you make, does not matter. Imagine, even after having everything in this world, you're not satisfied. What kind of feeling that is going to be? After investing your time, energy, efforts, emotion, money in creating something, in building something. I'm not saying that you should sit idle. No. You should do whatever you're doing right now. You should fulfill all your duties while staying detached in your journey.
Mm-hmm.
So this is very important in life. So the more you chase approval, how ego functions, the more you chase approval, the emptier you may feel. Why? Because it's like filling a void with things that are not permanent. You are already permanent, and you are trying to fill the voids inside you with something that is ever changing and which is not permanent. How are you going to be satisfied? The equation is not balanced here, no. So, someone who is already full but does not realize, it's not that you lack something right now. The soul does not lack anything. You are the creation of God. How could you be imperfect? So, if you do not lack anything, the only thing that you need in your life is that realization, is that knowledge to give you all the proofs and logics that you actually do not lack anything in life. It's your ego which says that you lack this, you lack that, you are incomplete, you are you are lesser than the other people. It's unfortunately, it has become a conditioning because of the society that we live in. Our societies are not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It is evolving for sure, things are changing, yes, definitely, but again, it's not perfect. So it's very important to realize that you need to recognize, recognizing the ego's role helps you detach from its demands. So when you understand what ego is, and when you know that, oh, whatever I'm seeking is never going to satisfy, your interest is going to come down only. That if I'm not getting benefited from it in the long run, what is the point of doing it now? What is the point of investing my energy in being an egoistic person and maintaining an image and creating an image? What is the point? Right? So this is very important to understand. So instead, we need to shift our awareness to the higher self, which does not need external validation to feel complete. You are enough as who you are. So you need to realize your who your higher self is, who you truly are, and that comes only through one thing, that is knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Knowledge, 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 knowledge. That's it. because knowledge is the only thing that can tell you who you actually are. No experience, no meditation is going to help you. It is going to help you in the short run, but knowledge is something. Knowledge talks about the truth, the ever changing. And when you get that knowledge, when you experience that knowledge, you don't need anything in this world to validate you now,
Mm-hmm.
because your experiences are enough to feel validated in your life. Now, fourth point, we need to understand the impermanence of external validation, the temporary nature of approvals. External praise or criticism is based on opinions and situations that are temporary and subjective. So, whatever we are asking for, attention, love, care, respect, whatsoever, we are actually craving for opinions, that people should have a certain opinion about me. And opinions are again ever changing. So, if you are attached to those opinions of what people think about you, of what your society thinks about you, what your partner thinks about you, what your office, what your colleague, what your friends think about you, it is again an opinion. It is going to change. Today they think differently of you, tomorrow they are going to think differently of you. And we are no one here to complain about it. Were you the same person 5 years ago? No. Are you going to be the same person 5 years from now? No. We are ever changing, but we expect the opinion of the people should be same always. Again, here is an equation which is not right. So our expectation from the people to have a certain opinion all the time about me, it's not possible. It's not permanent. So basing your self-worth on something so fleeting can cause suffering in life, not just sadness, suffering in life. All the people, me, you, everybody else in this world who has been through suffering or who is suffering, we are here to understand the reasons behind that which nobody talks about,
Mm-hmm.
right? So instead, place your self worth in something unchanging, that is your spirit, your connection to the divine. Release the control, because you cannot control how others see you or the external circumstances around you. Embrace this uncertainty. Oh my God, this is so important. Embrace this uncertainty and let go of the need to control how others perceive you. And this is the biggest superpower ever.
Yes.
Biggest superpower ever. Because uncertainty, another name of uncertainty is future, right? Future, do you know about your future? No. Do I know about my future? No. Do we think about our future? 100%. Do we have an image about our future? 100%. Is that the root cause of all our sufferings? 100%.
Yes.
Because future is uncertain, we have made a picture on our mind, and now we expect the future to be certain, to be
Mm-hmm.
as per me, to be as per my convenience, to be as per my likes and dislikes. Is it going to happen? No. Has that ever happened? No. Then why are we playing the same game where we are not even clear about the rules, but we are trying to win here?
Mm-hmm.
So you need, once your rules are clear, you will understand that you're not even here to win. You're just here to play an experience. Imagine your definition of wins, losses, failures, and success is going to change when you really know who you are. God has not created a game where his own children are fighting and one is winning and another one is losing. No, he cannot be so, he cannot do this injustice to any one of us. We are equal to him. It is the game which we have created thousands of years ago, and we are still playing it even when it's not making sense, because we are moving ahead with our eyes closed and our ears closed. We are running with no direction and expecting to reach the right destination. How is that possible again? Might be all these things are getting heavy on your head because you're like, what is this girl speaking about? She's saying nothing in our favor. But I want you to know, when I started to realize all these things, I was shattered. I was like, then who am I actually? Because I too was living the opposite life of what I'm talking about right now. 6 months ago, I was a completely different person. But after these realizations, oh my God, life is not the same. So now, a few more points to cover. Fifth point, your worth beyond roles and achievements. You are not your roles. You are not your roles. I am a daughter. I am a sister. I am going to be somebody's wife. I am going to be somebody's mom. I am somebody's friend. I am somebody's best friend. I was somebody's girlfriend. I am somebody's colleague. I am somebody's customer. I am somebody's. I don't know how many roles that I am playing. And I am never going to be perfect in all these roles again.
Mm-hmm.
I can keep on improving. But if I start judging myself based on the roles that I am playing, that is again wrong, because I am going to give my 100% based upon whatever information and knowledge that I have in a particular situation. And
Mm-hmm.
I am a person who is ever evolving, ever learning. If I judge myself based on the mistakes that I have made or based on the things that I don't know, then again I'm making a mistake here. Your worth is not determined by the roles that you play. So many people attach their worth to the roles they play in life, whether it's being a successful professional, a parent, or a friend. But your worth does not lie in the roles or fulfill in the roles you fulfill or the success you achieve. You are already complete. These are just your duties that God has given you. This does not mean anything that you are not good enough. We are going to learn in this process because it has been given to us. But it does not mean that you have to do all this because you are incomplete, and while doing this you will feel complete. No, you have to know that you are complete first,
Mm-hmm.
then play these roles. But the world is running in the opposite way. We are trying to find our fulfillment through the roles that we play, right? So you need unconditional self acceptance in life to deal with this. Your true worth comes from accepting yourself unconditionally. See, we all are good at accepting what we are good at, what good that we have. I have, my hair has a lot of volume, my skin is clear, I am so and so, blah blah blah. Right? Appreciating yourself based on what you like about yourself, it's very easy.
Mm-hmm.
But the parts of you that you fail to address, that you do not like addressing, that you want to run away from, that you have regrets and guilt about, if you accept those parts of you unconditionally, then my friend, you are not going to need anybody's validation to feel valuable. The reason why we need validation is life, because validation makes us feel complete for a few seconds, and we are running behind that.
Mm-hmm.
The need for validation only comes when there is a void within you, and you're trying to fill that void through some words of appreciation which are not going to last forever.
Yep.
Right? Now, sixth point is finding peace in the present moment. So, presence is enough. Your presence right here, right now, is enough. When you stay present in the moment, you're connected with your true self. See, we all are good at something and we love it when we are doing something and we lose track of time. We love it. That, oh my God, time flew by and I didn't even know. Because you were so engrossed in that present moment, you were so lost in that moment that you were you. There was no past in your mind, there was no future in your mind, and you were your happiest self because you were in the present moment. Imagine if you start living your life this way, where you are always in the present moment, which is quite not possible, but maybe 95% of times, 90%
Mm-hmm.
of times, 80% of times, your life is going to change. So, when you're in the present moment, you're connected to your true self. There is no need of comparison, there is no need of proving something to someone, there is no need of seeking validation, because everything just is. Nothing is right, nothing is wrong, it is just there, whatever it is. And that feeling is very beautiful to experience maximum of the times if you are living your life that way. So, this is the art of being. There are people who talk about the art of doing things, but here we're talking about the art of being right there where you are. So, you're valuable simply because you wanted to know, right? What is your self worth? You are worthy because you exist. That is the biggest and the only proof that we must need in life, to know why we are worthy and how we are worthy. You're worthy because you exist. Imagine, we take existence for granted, that okay, yeah, fine, blah blah blah, I have a lot more to achieve, I have a lot more to do. But you won't be able to move an inch, you won't be able to take another breathe if you do not exist.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine. So existence is the biggest blessing ever. That should be the center point of your life every single time. Before thanking for anything, even for food, water, air, you can appreciate that because you exist, my friend.
Yes.
You can appreciate your money, you can appreciate your position, your partner, your love, everything that you have in your life because you exist.
Mm-hmm.
So existence is the biggest proof, and you don't need to earn your worth by doing more or being more. I'm not saying that being more is a bad thing. No, 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 not at all. But attaching your worth to that is going to cause suffering in your life. Because I have suffered, that's why I'm able to talk about it. So cultivate the practice of being right here, right now, rather than constantly striving for external markers of success.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, yeah, these are the things that I wanted to discuss, and it's so important. See, you are only going to experience these things when you sit alone with yourself. There is a difference between being lonely and being alone. You feel lonely when you are seeking for some external validation and you're not getting it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're alone, when you sit with your own self, when you get into the habit, into the practice of sitting alone with yourself without any music, without any person, without anything, just silence and you, which is very uncomfortable in the beginning because we are not used to it. We are used to distracting ourselves all the time, through different ways. Because if you see, we are built that ways. If we sit alone, all the things that needs to be checked upon immediately come together when you sit alone. That I this that, and it comes with a lot of uncomfortable emotions which we do not like facing. It's not that we do not like facing, but actually nobody told us. We were
Mm-hmm.
not ever taught that how to address your emotions, how to name your emotions, how to talk about your emotions, how to express your emotions, what is the right way to express your emotions. Your emotions are valid, but your behaviors are not, right? So we were not never taught about this. So it gets difficult initially, but when you start to sit with yourself, when you start to treat your emotions with all the respect in this world, when you are compassionate to yourself more than anyone else in this world, when you learn to accept yourself without resisting any of the emotions that are coming to your life, when you understand that none of your emotions are here to hurt you, but they are here to help you become a better version of you,
Yes.
to know your higher self, because it is not possible to reach that level without addressing all these things. And this is a one time thing to go through the darkness, then it becomes a lifelong practice.
Yep.
So I'm here to tell you that it's not easy. It's not easy, but this is the only way out to live a life rather than surviving. We all are surviving. We all are trying to survive. But there is a, on the other side of this world, on the other side of the spectrum, on the other side of this rainbow, there is a beautiful world where people are also living their best possible life without having all the materialistic things that they once wanted in their lives.
Yes.
And I feel very blessed enough that I have begun to live that kind of life because I showed that courage. Rather, I did not have any other option in my life after hitting an emotional rock bottom, that I had to address these emotions. I had to, because that was the need of my body. My
Mm-hmm.
body was not ready to move an inch because I was so drained. I did not have any energy to move. So I had to sit and address these emotions, and it helped me become a better person that I am right now, and the person who is speaking in front of you. And I feel so blessed. I feel so blessed that you all are here, that you listen to me and my stories and my rants and my experiences. And I'm so proud of you for whatever you are, wherever you are, how you are dealing with things. And I'm here for you, and you've got this. That's all. Thank you so much. This was Pavni Verma.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're ranting, but you're ranting from within you. And that is what we
Yeah.
need. It doesn't matter what you're ranting, but so long as it comes from within you, that is the best thing that we want. And that is what we are talking about here. Thank you so much. And you have covered everything. You know, you are not defined by the opinions of others. It's so important, but by the strength of your own thoughts, your own spirit. Detach from validation and rise with your own light. This is so important. You started by saying you are a spiritual being. Of course, we all are created as spiritual beings. If
Yes.
we don't know, we need to accept that. The moment you accept that, you will begin to navigate the path in life from within you, from yourself, not from other people, not from what other people say about you, not from what other people want you to do. But here's the thing, as a child, it's understandable. Because if a child is not taught how to do these things, they will not know. They would think that because by nature, we we want to be loved, we need to be loved, we are born with love. And if children don't get this from the parents, from the home, from the adults, what do? They turn outside to the world.
Yes.
And the world is
100%.
not always going to give them exactly the way that God gave these children to us to give it to them. And not to blame parents at all, because I myself, I am guilty as a parent. But when I said I am going to accept the truth for who I am and who I have been created to be, things start moving and changing for me. I begin to see the light. But I was at that point, that very dark point as a child, that I don't understand why my father cannot love me as the other children. Why being a female child is a problem. But my grandmother helped me. And now I understood everything. Now I'm doing things from what God has put in me to do. When you do things from your inner self, and a lot of time you're not going to succeed, like she said, you're not going to succeed in these things. They're going to fail. But that failure is there for a reason. It's not just there just because you start crying, I fail, I wasted my money. No, you did not waste any money. You have you money is a resource. You invested that money and you did not succeed at first, because everything in life is not meant to be successful at first sight. It does never happen. It never happened with the one that created us. It's definitely not going to happen with you or me, because we are mere human beings. And number two, you talk about the fact that we can create because we are co-creators with God. And we are. We truly are. If you have not accepted that, please accept it. Know that life is on a continuum. That means you talk about knowledge, knowing than owning is the most important thing. Knowing than owning. Because we came with nothing. What we came with was love and nothing else but love. And we're going to return with nothing else. If you are not careful, you will return without that love, and that is not a very good thing. It is that love for self before you can be able to love another. You cannot pretend to love Mundi. You cannot pretend to love these children that we are trying to come together to help when you have not yet loved yourself. That's why I always say, because I understand this principle for myself so much, that a lot of forces are fighting you, and you, if you don't know who you are and whose you are, you turn to fight against those forces and you're wasting your own time. And life is a zigzag. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. And when you're down, thank God for that. When you're up, thank God for that, because all of those things must come together to build who you are. Remember, she says a lot of important things here, and I urge everyone to go back and watch the videos that she presents here. She knows what she's talking about. She's not just a coach, but she's a coach, a natural spiritual coach, because that is her gift. That is her purpose in life. Go back and watch it. And if you're struggling with something, she is there. The world is a global village right now. The world is a global village because I myself, I thank God that she came here to this platform. But I thank God so much from Mr. Ash Mufara for bringing these natural talents together, especially as a child, which is what we want here, so that these children can begin to see from another child, from another age mate, to say, wow, if she can be this way, then I too can do it. I can search within me and do it. And remember, she says it didn't just appear to her like that. She had to hit rock bottom. I had to hit rock bottom too, to find who truly I am before I can begin to do what I'm doing here, or even begin to open my mouth. But am I right all the time here? No. No, I'm not. That is why we are here together to discuss, so that we can begin to fit into the various patterns, the various authentic things that she is talking about here, or we are talking about here, and move forward. We're not going to force the child. You must do like this. First of all, you need to understand who your child is. How did God give that child to you? And then you begin to follow. What is your child touching? What is your child always setting their eyes on? What makes them smile? And then you really help and love your child along those lines. It's a lot of things here, but we as humans, we must, when you speak from your authentic self, you're going to make mistakes, but they will know. People will feel it, the vibration, the energy. They will know that you are authentic, and that is there for a reason. This is very important. True self-worth blooms when we release the need for approval. When we really release the need for approval, really don't even want it. In this freedom, we find our authentic power, the power that comes only from the one that created us. And that power can be different from everyone. Don't say, this person has to speak like me. This person has to do things like me. This person, what is wrong with this person? No, we can't do that. Because if you say, what is wrong with this person, you must not have found your own self. Because there is a reason why everything happens. And when we flow with that, knowing who we are, knowing that we are co-creators with our spiritual self, everything goes well. Thank you so much, Miss Pavni. Whenever you are here, I am just so happy, because I just know and I know and I know that you are a God sent to us here to speak to us in the voice of a child, but in the spirit of an adult who has been gifted with a lot of things. Thank you so much. And I thank everyone that is present here today. And let us pray for those who are not feeling well, and it's for all, they are going through some challenges. And we know, if you see, sometimes people come here, it's not, or they don't come the next moment, it's not because they don't want to. They have certain things to do. Their family commitments, even commitment to themselves before their families. They have some challenges, health challenges. They have some difficulties. They have to do something with children in school. Let us give them that opportunity. This is not to force anybody to come here. Remember, one global movement is here to stay. Mr. Ash Mufara brought us together to do what we are called to do, and it's here to stay. So let us do what you need to do for yourself before you ever come here. So when you come here, you can speak like Miss Pavni, exactly the way she's speaking. So thank you guys so much for everything. I am going to be rushing because you see me, I'm in my car, cramped up to carry out this webinar because I have a One Global Movement appointment. And that is how I've been doing, because if I just sit at home to say, let me have the webinar first before I go, I will not be able to do anything. So I move from one place to the other according to the appointments. And thank God for AI and internet that is globalized, so that we can do things anywhere in the world and don't have to worry, right? So thank you guys so much for everything. And thank you, Razahab, for being here. Thanks to our beautiful sister, Ballyhoo, Pushpin Media, Sister Sharon. Thanks to our beautiful sister, Nancy. Thanks to Anna, Sir Kayandari, Ashid D. Sangma, Sanjay Kumar, and everyone else. Thanks to Kenita G. Momin and to the Momin's family. Thanks to Sanip Mina. Thank you, Shriji Jana, Maria Jos, Madden Mishra, Elvi Momin, um, our brother Shriji Jana, our brother Ujala Kumar. Thank you so much. Thank you to every Mormon, Suparna Singh, Assam. Thank you so much. And thanks to Nitish, Sir Nitish Kamaka. Thank you so much, sir, for always being the support here. Thanks to Yusuf Adu. And thanks to Gutam Howder. Thank you so much. Thank you to Manoj Jane. If I don't pronounce your names well, please bear with me. I will try and do the way that it's supposed to next time, okay? And thanks to let me make sure I mention every name here so we don't miss out on any name. Ashesh Opandeye, thank you so much for being here again. And thanks to the managing director, Mr. John Barilla. Thank you so much. And we are going down here. Thanks to MD Aludin. Thank you so much, sir, for being here. Thanks to Nandal Sharma. Thank you so much. And thank you, Apuba Paul. And thanks to MD Aludin again. Thank you so much. And please bear with me. I need to get back into my appointment. All right. Thanks to Niman Sharan. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks to our beautiful sister, Sagarika Das. Thank you so much, sister, for your contribution. And thanks to our, our new members who have joined us today. Please keep spreading the word. We want to be able to reach every child, every young person with a focus on young girls, and therefore every home. Let us spread the word. Mr. Ash Mufara has brought together 1.4 million founding account members for a reason. He is fulfilling his purpose, and he has also asked us to take this golden opportunity and fulfill it in our own individual purposes, beginning with self. And thank you guys so much. Thank to our staunch supporters here. Thank you again, Miss Pavni, Verma. Thanks to everyone here. You are highly appreciated here. Let us meet again next week. But before then, please, we want beautiful stories from the weekend. We want to know how you are doing with yourself in relation to your children, in relation to your adult, whether they're in school or they're out of school. There is something special that we can always do with these children to make them to know that they matter, that they were born with greatness, that they were born to contribute to humanity, that they were born to also help other people. Whether they're in school, they can help in school. Whether they're in the community, they can do that. Whether they're traveling, they can do that. Whether they're coaching, just like Miss Pavni is doing, they can transform the world, one child, one student, one family at a time. So thank you guys so much here. I will get back to my appointment now. And until next week, I love you all. Bye-bye. Yes.